One more time. We back again, family. I think we have a good show tonight. Um, this last week has been massive for me. I had had a family gathering that was huge. We got together. I saw people I haven't seen in 30 or 40 years. Some people that I grew up with that's like definitely like family to me. Uh, it's one of those things where money can't buy it and words can't describe the things that you go through. Sometimes it just can't do it justice. I can't enunciate or articulate. My vocabulary is nowhere near vast enough to explain to you what I went through just this last past week, but it was beautiful. um I don't even know how to put that into words, but it was just family. It was friends. It was stuff that your life come back, and it's just like a mirror from like 30 or 40 years ago. And I never thought I would be that older guy, who I used to call those dudes old, right? But now it's my turn. So I just want to say, hey to everybody, thank you for the support. The people that watched the show that I didn't know that was watching, I appreciate you so thoroughly for that. The love, man, that I received, I didn't know. So I just want to thank y'all for that. So I'm gonna start with this monologue tonight. In our relationships, what we do a lot of times is we compete and we don't compliment. I want to repeat that again. I say a lot of times we want to compliment. We don't want to compete. That's how we have healthy, long-term relationships. That's how we get longevity. But a lot of times you see if it's on the news or if it's in the media, if it's in on the Instagram or on YouTube, you see people competing, men and women. Now I'm gonna try to put a different perspective on that. So I have a video, it's called The Facts, versus the point. I want to change the point. I don't want us to compete because we are different. I want us to understand the nature of the opposite sex, and I want us to complement one another. So when I want to try to show that complementary side, I want to take the competition out. We're gonna sit the competition to the side over here. Now we know that we're different, so we're going to be in a position to where it seems like it's offense against defense and vice versa. But when we start looking at it like the complementing each other, when we look at reciprocation, that's in a cycle, one giving to another, and we keep it moving and it keeps revolving. When we do that reciprocation and the complementing, we want to show that women are the massive support and the man is the structure. So we're going to run through a couple of different examples that you all know, but I want to try to bring something to you in a different way to kind of help you see it in a different light so that we won't look at the competition side. We want to look at how we should complement one another. So when I do my forums, I've been doing them for about 10 years now. I learned that I need to put the men and the women on opposite sides and I let them face each other. Because when I was having forums, it gets so intense and it gets so passionate. I get women, they'll turn around and they'll try to talk to the man behind them because he'll bring up a point. Then I'll get a man that may be in front of a woman and he'll try to turn around. He'll try to prove his point. So what I tried to do is I wanted that exchange of energy. I wanted them to be in front of each other. And this is the psychological piece as well. But first of all, it's about structure and organization. Because if I let them sit behind each other, they're going to turn around and try to address each other. And then it gets a little chaotic. Then you get people speaking, they'll start soapboxing. So you have to control that narrative in that crowd. So you want them to enjoy the information that you're trying to put forth so they can see the research and so they can grow and they can connect with that exchange in that room. So that's my monologue tonight. I want to say that women are the massive support. Okay. The women are the massive support. So we want to see that our sisters today, sometimes some of them, they get in a position to where they think they need to lead. Fellas, they get in a position to where they get the education and they get the money and they can't give up the keys. Fellas, they get in a position to where they don't want to submit because they are the head of household and they have to take care of those children and they don't trust that you're going to come in and do the right thing. That is her perspective. That is a reality and that is a fact. But what we want to try to do is show her how she can complement that with a man. So you got to go back to video number 2, ladies and gentlemen, and look at what is a man and what is a woman from our research that we have gathered. And you can add to that. You can leave some comments. You can, voice your opinion on that and help us grow that because that's not the end all be all cure all. So when we get into the position to where the woman don't want to give up the keys, I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios. We want to jump into something like a bridge. So we've all seen these beautiful engineering marvels. Hey, what's going on? We've seen these beautiful engineering marvels of bridges that that adorn our skylines for our water. The bridge that connect two bodies of land. And that bridge is that they got artistic with it to where it's a beautiful thing to look at. That's the structure. That is the man. We're looking at the structure and how beautiful that it is. We want to marvel at how many working man hours it took to put it together, how much steel, how many times they had to go back over the plans and engineer it and redo it and go back over. How much money did it cost? That's the thing that we look at and we focus on that. So that's the major part, which is the structure. So now I want to get to the woman. I want to make the woman the massive. She's going to be the massive support. She's going to be those steel bolts. Those steel boats that's up under that bridge. We've all seen it. We never check the boats. We don't know how big they are. We don't know if they're strong enough. We don't know if that steel undercarriage is enough to support that bridge as we drive across it. We're just looking at the structure. We're looking at how beautiful it is. We're marveling at the engineering that it took and the money that was spent on that bridge. But we never pay attention to that massive support that holds that beautiful structure up. We never look at those boats that go into all of those steel undercarriages that keep that bridge from falling apart. So we got the man who is the structure. This could be the money. This could be the provisions. This could be the structure. But what supports him, what keeps him together, let's take the boats out of the bottom of that bridge. Let's take the steel undercarriage out of the bottom of that bridge. That bridge will collapse. And understand full well that bridge cannot stand without that support. So let's put to the side, marveling to the engineering, marveling about how much money was spent, marveling about how many man hours it took to build that bridge. Now we're trying to complement because it takes two. It's not just the beautiful structure and it's not just the boats and the undercarriage. It's the combination of both. They complete and they don't have to compete because they complement one another. Okay? There's no competition in this situation. We want to move to something like our car. We look at these beautiful cars. It could be a Lamborghini, it could be a Ferrari, it could be a Land Rover, it could be whatever car that you like. All of these beautiful engineered machines, right? We look at the paint job, and we look at the tires, we look at the interior. We talk about how it was technologically advanced. Maybe the gas mileage or the speed or whatever it is about that car. That's the structure. That's how it's put together. Okay. So when we look at that, we're going to say that's the man. But we want to take the most beautiful, most expensive car with the finest engineering and motor known to man. And we want to extract the transmission. Here's our woman. Brothers, sisters, here's our woman. The most beautiful car, the fastest car with the best engineering will be immobilized if you take away the transmission. We need to stop looking at the man as if he is ahead or he is first. There has to be support for anything that is the head. The head has a spine. That's our central nervous system. The only way that the head, the brain, can send the message to the body is through the spinal cord. That is the central nervous system. That is our woman. Okay? So now we're going to get, when we're talking about that car, when we're talking about the good gas mileage or the motor was $1 million or how fast it is, it has to be supported by the transmission. That is what makes it move. So we don't want to look at competition because these things complement each other. The motor in the car is no more important than the transmission. Because if you take away the transmission, it is no longer a vehicle. A vehicle is a projectile that can take you and travel to take you to a destination to travel over a distance. Without the transmission, you don't have a car. You have a piece of sculpture. That's art. Okay. After we gonna get into let's say like this massive door. We've all seen a vault in a bank. We have this big 6-foot solid steel door, 6 foot thick, 9 feet high. This door is massive. It's going to be very hard to get some explosive that's powerful enough to blow this door open. This door is very secure. That's why they build them so big. That's why they build them so tall. That's why they build them so thick. This could be our man. Okay, very strong, very durable. But when we look at the man and the woman is the locking mechanism. She could be the keypad. She could be the dial on the lock. She could be the turn, the bolt that goes into the wall to secure this big massive door. The woman is the massive support. These things don't compete, they complement each other. It's a reciprocation. As you turn the dial on the lock for the vote, the door can only hold the lock once it's opened or closed. If you take out the lock, the door is just a big 6 foot thick, 9 foot high piece of steel that just keeps elements out of the vault. It's no longer a vault because it's not securing any goods. It's not securing anything that is valuable. So the man is in essentially nothing without his woman. We want to look into let's talk about just the creation of a human being. Ladies, we talk a lot about being queen mother of the earth. The woman brings forth life. I want to explain something to you, ladies, and this is not a competition. The child, the sperm, is with the father longer than it is with the mother. Okay? The father is carrying that sperm like the mother is carrying that egg. The egg is no good until the sperm connects with the egg. And then we fertilize it, and then the egg splits. Then we get the chromosome, and then the woman incubates and brings forth life. We cannot compete with this process. We can only complement one another with this process. That child is with the father just as long as it's with the mother. She is the queen mother and the giver of life, but she is the massive support. She is not the structure and the support in this situation. So we want to make sure that we're not complimenting. We want to make sure that we want to make sure that we're complementing. We don't want to try to compete. So when we bring forth life in the organic process, we want to make sure that we understand that this is reciprocal. He carries, she carries, they come together, they complement, bring forth the next generation. Okay? So now we want to take our relationships. We want to try to take it out of the competition phase, and we want to put it into the complementary phase. One is no important than the other. They both must work together and become one so that we can get where we need to go, so we can have these healthy relationships, so that we can come together and we can stop competing and start complementing. Just we wanted to put this piece together tonight. We just want to throw this out there. We want y'all to have some conversations. So we want you to take this. We want you to test this. We want you to try this. Take it to the barbershop or take it to the hair salon. Take it to the job or take it to the church. Remember, you don't have to like it, believe it, or understand it. Sometimes you just have to respect it. This is the Clipper Dome Chronicles. Thank you.